Before we dive into today's story, I wanted to take a quick moment to talk about this channel. We're a community dedicated to respectfully remembering the victims and uncovering the facts behind true crime cases and unsolved disappearances. If you value this approach and want to support respectful storytelling, becoming a subscriber is the best way to never miss an update. If you find our work meaningful, leaving a like helps immensely in bringing these important stories to a wider audience. In the comments, we encourage you to share messages of remembrance for the victims or thoughts on why it is important to keep these cases alive. Let's keep the discussion respectful and focused on the facts. Your support is what allows me to continue this work with the care and dedication it deserves. Now, let's get into the case. In the early morning hours of the 17th of June 2019, 23-year-old University of Utah student Mackenzie Lueck returned to Salt Lake City from a trip to Los Angeles, where she had attended her grandmother's funeral. She landed at Salt Lake City International Airport just after 1 a.m. Surveillance footage and ride-share records confirmed she took a Lyft from the airport at approximately 2:50 a.m. Her Lyft driver dropped her off at Hatch Park in the northern part of the city, a location she had selected. According to the driver's statement to police, a man in a vehicle was waiting for her at the park. Mackenzie got into this waiting car and was driven away. This was the last confirmed sighting of Mackenzie Lueck alive. Her disappearance was not reported to authorities until nearly a week later, on the 23rd of June, when concerned friends who had not heard from her contacted the police. The Salt Lake City Police Department, SLCPD, immediately launched a missing persons investigation. Mackenzie was described as a responsible and communicative student, making her sudden silence highly out of character. Investigators quickly obtained her phone records, which showed her last activity coincided with her arrival at Hatch Park. The Lyft driver's account became the critical starting point. Police released a public statement confirming they were looking for the individual who had picked her up, describing the meeting point as suspicious given the late hour and secluded nature of the park. As detectives began to piece together Mackenzie's life, they discovered she was active on dating and sugar daddy websites, where older men provide financial support or gifts in exchange for companionship. This digital trail would soon lead investigators to a specific home and a man whose online persona would become central to the case, 31-year-old Ayoola Ajayi. The investigation into Mackenzie Lueck's digital footprint rapidly converged on a single individual. Detectives traced communications from her phone and dating site accounts to a user matching the profile of Ayoola Ajayi, a 31-year-old worker and former University of Utah student. Ajayi's residence was a house located on North 1000 West in Salt Lake City, approximately a 10-minute drive from Hatch Park. On the 26th of June 2019, based on the digital evidence and the Lyft driver's identification of the general area, police secured a search warrant for Ajayi's property. Upon entering the home, investigators immediately noted a strong odor of gasoline. The backyard presented a startling scene, a recently disturbed, charred area in the landscaping consistent with a large fire pit. Forensic teams excavated this site and made a grim discovery. They recovered human tissue fragments and bone shards, along with personal belongings, including a charred credit card in Mackenzie Lueck's name. The remains were so severely burned that immediate visual identification was impossible. They were sent to the Utah State Crime Lab for DNA analysis. Inside the house, police found more evidence linking Ajayi to Lueck, including items she was known to have possessed. Most damningly, search history from a computer in the home revealed queries related to accelerants, how to clean blood, and how to delete cell phone data from the early morning hours of the 17th of June, immediately after Mackenzie was last seen alive. Ayoola Ajayi was not home during the search. An arrest warrant was issued and a manhunt ensued. He was located and taken into custody without incident the following day, the 27th of June, at a public library in Salt Lake City. Ayoola Ajayi was formally charged with aggravated murder, kidnapping, and desecration of a human body. During a court hearing, prosecutors revealed they had obtained a positive DNA match, confirming the burned remains found in his backyard were those of Mackenzie Lueck. The state outlined a chilling narrative based on the evidence. They alleged that Ajayi had lured Lueck to the secluded park under the pretense of a meeting, driven her to his home, killed her, and then attempted to destroy her body by dousing it in gasoline and burning it in his backyard fire pit. The motive, while never explicitly stated by Ajayi, was constructed by prosecutors from the digital evidence. They pointed to the nature of their online relationship, suggesting a financial arrangement that may have soured, or that the meeting was a premeditated act of violence disguised as a sugar daddy date. The gruesome method of body disposal indicated a clear attempt to conceal the crime. Ajayi's internet search history became a central pillar of the prosecution's case, portraying a man methodically trying to cover his tracks in the immediate aftermath of the murder. Ajayi, through his attorneys, entered a plea of not guilty. However, the mountain of physical evidence, from the DNA in his yard to the victim's belongings in his home, made the state's case formidable. The question was no longer about if a crime had occurred at that address, but about securing a conviction for the most serious charges. Faced with overwhelming forensic evidence, Ayoola Ajayi's legal path shifted. In February 2021, just weeks before his trial was set to begin in Salt Lake City's 3rd District Court, Ajayi agreed to a plea deal with prosecutors. He pleaded guilty to the charges of aggravated murder and kidnapping. In exchange for his guilty pleas, the charge of desecration of a human body was dropped, and prosecutors agreed not to seek the death penalty. The plea ensured a sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole, the maximum penalty under Utah law short of execution. During the sentencing hearing in March 2021, members of Mackenzie Lueck's family delivered powerful and emotional victim impact statements. They described Mackenzie as a bright, loving young woman with a promising future brutally taken from them. They spoke of their enduring grief, trauma, and the horror of her final moments and the desecration of her remains. Judge Vernis Treese, addressing Ajayi directly, condemned his heinous and depraved actions before formally imposing the agreed upon sentence, life without parole for the murder, plus an additional 5 years to life sentence for the kidnapping, to be served consecutively. With the plea and sentencing, the criminal case reached its legal conclusion. Ajayi was remanded to the Utah State Prison, where he will spend the remainder of his life. For the Lueck family and the community, the legal resolution provided a measure of justice, but no solace for their profound loss. The murder of Mackenzie Lueck sent shockwaves through Utah and became a cautionary tale discussed nationwide. It highlighted the very real dangers associated with meeting strangers from online platforms, especially under arrangements that involve financial exchange and implicit trust. The case spurred conversations about personal safety, the sugar daddy subculture, and the vulnerabilities that can be exploited in digital dating. For the University of Utah, it prompted a review of student safety resources and outreach. Mackenzie Lueck is remembered not for the brutality of her death, but for her life. Her family established a scholarship in her name. The swift resolution of the case, from her disappearance to a guilty plea in under 2 years, stands as a testament to effective police work that integrated traditional detective work with digital forensics. The Salt Lake City Police Department's ability to quickly pivot from a missing persons case to a homicide investigation based on a burned fire pit and digital breadcrumbs was crucial. While the legal process is closed, the tragedy serves as a permanent, sobering reminder of the need for vigilance in the digital age and the enduring pain left behind when a young life is extinguished by calculated violence. As we conclude today's story, let's once again remember the lives affected. If you found this exploration meaningful and want to support respectful storytelling about real cases, please consider leaving a like. It helps more than you know. To stay updated with our deep dives into unresolved histories, hit that subscribe button, and in the comments below, feel free to share a thought in memory or why you believe remembering these stories matters. Thank you for watching and for being a part of this thoughtful community.